Anyway, let's move on to the Lionize list, the top 10 teams in the NFL. So this
This
is
is
my
gonna be fun.
list based off last week. Remember, the list is, as Stephen A. Smith likes to say, fluid. It's gonna move on over the course of the year. We had our rankings earlier. I still think that if your team moves up and down, don't relax. It's over the course of the year. We're seeing how teams go, their trajectory. So
I
bear
like my
bear
list.
with.
I like
I
my
like mine
list
too.
ranking.
I have one surprise in there, but I just think they played well in week one, and I was higher on them the most. So let's start off. Number one team in the league, the San Francisco 49ers, followed by the Eagles, the Chiefs, Cowboys, Bills, Miami,
Hmm.
Cincinnati, Detroit, Jacksonville, and Cleveland. That's the top 10. So before you interrupt, let me get some reasoning for all this. So 49ers at 1. They are one of the most talented teams in the NFL. Brock Purdy looked great. We know who they are. Kyle Shanahan, great offensive pieces, great defense. We know where they're going to be. They're going to be in the playoffs, but let's see if they can get over the hump like they haven't been able to do. But Brock Purdy also looked great. Next up is the Eagles. Eagles, um, I'm keeping them this high because I believe in them. They have a great team similar to the 49ers, great defense, great offensive pieces, but their offense did struggle against the Patriots. Their offense did struggle. So that's one thing I want to keep my eye on, but I'm thinking they're going to be fine. It's week 1. You got a new OC. Let the pieces figure out. They're talented enough. They were there last year. Jalen Hurts is really good. Eagles at 2. Chiefs at 3. Their wide receiver room is keeping them down in this ranking because I really think they need to get some help around Mahomes because Kelsey, look what happened when Kelsey got hurt. But their defense looked much improved even without Chris Jones, and I still think they're going to be one of the best teams in the league. Watch out for them to move up on these tiers, on these rankings. I mean, Cowboys at 4. I thought the Cowboys were going to be good, but I didn't think their defense was going to be that good. We didn't see that much from their offense. That's one thing we got to keep our eye on: Dak Prescott and his turnovers. But they got a new piece in there with Brandon Cooks. Defense looks great. Dominated the Giants, who made the playoffs last year. So Cowboys at 4. Bills at 5. I don't know. I feel like I
I
might
don't
be.
like that.
I feel like the
I don't like
media
that.
might be influencing me, but I don't know. The Bills, they do have this track record of success over the past couple years that's keeping them this high. But this is one of the problems that we pointed out in our predictions. This is one of the problems that I've been saying about Josh Allen is that he turns the ball over too much, trying to play superhero ball. They give him too much responsibility. And look, it cost them against the Jets, but their defense is still amazing. They still have Stephon Diggs. Their run game has the potential to get better, and Josh Allen is still Josh Allen. And once he cleans up these small mistakes, which are easily fixable, he fixed them up before. So the Bills could look to go up based on that or go down. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins at 6. The Dolphins are very, very talented on offense. We're the fastest team in the league. Tyreek Hill looked great. Their defense looked all right, but they came through clutch at the end there. But the main thing that's keeping them down is Tua's play. Tua played amazing. We talked about this earlier, but he does have a ceiling, and I think that ceiling might cost them down the stretch. Next up, we have Cincinnati. Cincinnati's staying this high even though they got blown out. They started off slow. Their Joe Burrow was pressured a lot, which is scary because we want Joe Burrow to be healthy, but he's also coming back from a calf strain. I think the Cincinnati Bengals started slow last year too. And they finished 12-4. They'll be fine. I'm not worried. Cincinnati at 7. Detroit at 8. Maybe you could say I'm still holding on to prior beliefs about Detroit, but they looked really good about on the against the Chiefs. Defense looked much improved. Their D line and Aiden Hutchinson was getting to the quarterback often. Um, Secondary got better, and the rookies and skill position players are off the charts. Their running attack is going to be one of the best in the league. Their offense is going to be top 5. Great O line, great receivers. Detroit at 8. Jaguars at 9. I expected more from them. They did find a way to win at the end, which is good, but Trevor Lawrence made some mistakes, but he cleaned it up towards the end. I need Trevor Lawrence to start being more consistent for the Jags to move up on this list. Cleveland at 10. This might be a little surprising, but I just think they played so well that I feel like I had to put them up there, especially after what I saw from them. They do have a very talented defense, very talented D line with Zadarius Smith and Miles Garrett. Um, got some offensive pieces, but Deshaun Watson needs to start figuring it out because he's still looking like he's a little rusty. I want to see Deshaun Watson in his Texans form, and that rounds out my top 10 teams in the NFL.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I have some of those teams that you have in there I don't have in mind, but let's get into it. So at number one, I have the Eagles. Dominant. They have a dominant defense. They got weapons on offense. And next, I have the 49ers. The only reason why I have the Eagles in front of them is because they beat them in the NFC Championship, and that's pretty much why I have them in front of them. Uh, Three, I have the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa, man, he dominated on Sunday. Um, I really like what I saw out of them, and I like that they were competitive and they they put up points. Number four, I had the Chiefs for obvious reasons because they're still the Chiefs. They have Patrick Mahomes. I really hope that Travis Kelce is healthy um, for the rest of the season because if he is, then they have another chance at winning a Super Bowl. Number five, I have the Lions. I was debating between either Chiefs at four or Lions at four because the Lions played really well on Thursday night. And I like what I saw out of Jared Goff, and I like what I saw out of their defense. And Aiden Hutchinson looks like an elite pass rusher. And they got CJ Gardner Johnson. So it feels like the pieces are clicking for the Lions. But because the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, I have them at four. At six, I have the Chargers. Again, I like what I saw out of their offense. I'm an offensive guy. Like I really like when teams can put up points. It makes the game more fun for me, and I feel like it makes the game more fun for the fans. And that's
Spe-
kind of like what you want to see. I mean, the name of the game in any sports game, in any sport, is put up points. Or you can't win if you don't put up points. So I feel like the Chargers can do that at an elite level. I like Justin Herbert, and hopefully their defense gets it together a little bit.
Especially in the modern
And
day NFL, it's like all about scoring, like
yeah,
defenses and all the flags and stuff.
right.
Can't even be aggressive.
Right. So hopefully they clean up some mistakes on the defensive end. Like again, that J.C. Jackson pass interference was probably the dumbest play I've seen in a long time. But yeah, number seven, I have the Cowboys. Um, I have to put them there because they just beat the Giants 40-0. I don't think any other team put up 40 points this in the whole like week one slate. So they look really good on defense. They look good on special teams. I mean, they didn't really do much on the offensive end, but I reckon that they'll be okay. Uh, they have Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks now who caught some passes. So yeah, Cowboys at seven. Number eight, I have the Jaguars, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that they're going to take a big leap this year. And yeah, they were down early against the Colts, but they ended up, I think they had a turnover and then they just kept going from there, 31-21. They play the Chiefs next week, which will be a good game. I'm excited to see that. I hope that Travis Kelce is healthy for that. Number nine, I have the Browns. I was really high on the Browns this offseason, and Deshaun Watson. I mean, first game under his belt with the full training camp. I think that they'll only get better. They have Nick Chubb. They have weapons. Amari Cooper. He left the game for a little bit on Sunday, but he ultimately came back. So if they can stay healthy, they should be pretty good. Their defense looked really good too. Miles Garrett was getting to Joe Burrow like it was nothing. Um, and then number 10, I have the Bengals because Joe Burrow and the offense is really good and they can put up points and they're the Bengals. They're always in the playoffs, making it to the AFC Championship and whatnot. And so the teams that didn't make my list was the Bills. I think it was just the Bills that you had in there. So yeah, the Bills would probably be at 11, I guess, or maybe not. Maybe I would put the the Rams at 11. I don't know,
I
but
mean, thing about the Bills is that like we've been saying these flaws about them, and we're gonna see how bad they really affect them this year.
yeah,
If these really continue and this Josh Allen regression is like a real thing, Bills are gonna take a step back, and that it just hurts because the AFC is gonna be wide open then, AFC East, and Aaron Rodgers is hurt, and we can't take advantage. So
yeah,
fuck.
yeah. Those are
Just
my top 10.
all right.